Hi guys, Starla here with the Handmade Alphas, and today we are going to be covering one of the most requested videos that I have by far received over the last few months, and that is a video covering Etsy Rank. The website, not actually your Etsy rank, but hopefully the website Etsy Rank is going to help you to rank higher on Etsy by picking out all of the little bugs that could be popping up in your shop. So starting out, the first thing obviously that you need to do is hop on to etsyrank.com and make an account. It is 100% free to start. They do have some paid plans, which we can talk about later. They're extremely affordable. I personally don't have a paid plan yet, but that's something that I'm going to be getting today. Or tonight. I just want to go ahead and go over the basics, and this video series is probably going to be broken down into digestible chunks because you guys have most frequently told me that you don't really care for the big long videos that trail on for 2 hours. So we're going to try to make these small and maybe do a 3-part series. So in this video, being number 1, I want to go ahead and begin talking about what Etsy Rank is and some of the initial tools that you guys can use just starting out when you jump straight on the dashboard. So starting out, guys, I am on Etsy Rank. I am in my dashboard, and we are going to begin looking at some of these really cool tools. And I see a couple little things like spelling issues and missing tags. I actually left these here. Because it would look silly if I didn't have anything to show you guys what your errors are going to look like and how to fix them. So we're going to actually look at those together. So starting out, here is your dashboard, and these are some of the actual stats for your listings. You should be able to see how many active listings that you have, if you have any spelling issues in your titles and how many, if you have any missing tags in any of your listings, because obviously it is extremely important to have all 13 tags in place and make sure that those tags are reflecting in your listing and in your product description. And then you can also see if you have any missing images, if there are any photo slots that you need to fill out, missing attributes. Spotted on Etsy, I actually need to look a little bit more into because it says no data is available in this, and it's one of those things that hasn't popped up for me, so I will obviously have to touch on this later on. And then we have some stats on your website if you've got that connected to your Etsy shop, whether it is mobile friendly, which is extremely important, and we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. Now, you can also see where some of your followers are coming from. You can see how many people have favorited your listings. You can see how many Facebook likes you have. You can see how many Pinterest followers you have, how many Twitter followers you have, how many Instagram followers you have, and you can also connect a blog, which I personally don't have a blog, so I don't have that connected, but you know, it's gonna reflect the same stats. And then the last section on your dashboard, you see your brand, and this is going to be where people are chatting about you. Mostly for me, it's Google+. You can see a lot of the weird little links where you didn't realize that you were featured. That's one thing that I was very surprised by because I'm not really like a Google+ person. I utilize my Google accounts and I share within my Google accounts, but I don't actually go back and see where I'm being tagged within Google+. So it was really interesting to click on some of these and actually see where people have been talking about me, and I didn't even know it. So that's another really cool thing. And then right on your dashboard, I really love that they have a Christmas countdown up here, 47 days. And you can also click on this to get some keyword ideas. Now, obviously, because we are Handmade Alphas, and if you have watched my SEO video, which I will link down below in the description if you have not, because you need to watch it, that is going to help tremendously with your keyword searching. And it's also going to remind you that it's easier to rank for those long tail keywords as opposed to those 2-word keywords. And if that makes no sense to you whatsoever, you need to go back and watch that Etsy SEO video that I created. Once again, that's going to be linked down below. So from here, we can see a few recommended keywords for the word Christmas. This is just kind of like the little default search that they gave us for Christmas related listings. Obviously, you're going to want to make sure that you're looking at these keywords and checking their actual SEO strength, and definitely aim for long tail keywords that consist of more than 2 words. Those are going to be way easier to rank for. As you guys probably already know already, because I'm assuming that you watched my SEO video. If not, go do that. But the really cool thing is that you can actually view high competition keywords, and those are kind of the words that you know that maybe you should steer clear of, or you should just use very sparingly in your listings. So if we scroll down, you can actually look at what words are going to be more difficult to rank for, as opposed to words that are going to be easier to rank for, such as things that are in the medium category. Or moving on to page 2, Our First Christmas is in the medium category. You've got the high category, which is another one that's going to be more difficult to rank for. You'll also see a few that say to be determined. I assume that those are ones that are kind of updating still. And you can also look at the amount of demand and engagement for these products if you purchase that pro membership. So in my opinion, it's totally worth it. In fact, I think that they give you these little demand and engagement tips down here so you know what these mean before you buy, and it kind of tempts you to want to buy that pro membership, which, like I said, it's very affordable. I'm not an affiliate. I'm kind of exploring Etsy Rank for the first time and getting to know the platform, but I've been doing a lot of research on it over the last few days to make this video series for you guys, and so far I love everything that I see. I haven't personally gotten that pro membership, but I'm going to do that tonight, and you guys are going to get my first impressions when I do, and what the changes are going to be, and what the difference between this pro membership versus the regular free membership are going to be. So scrolling down, we can also see the price range of these average Christmas listed products, and then when you scroll down a little bit, you can also see the top listings for whatever search term that you're looking at. Obviously, these products are all going to be Christmas related. And then there is another really cool thing over here that you might not notice. That's one of the things that I'm really loving about Etsy Rank is if you look around, just look around the page a little bit, there are little extras everywhere. There are some awesome little tidbits all over the place. So it's like every page has something that's interesting. You've got some Christmas synonyms, you've got your competition, demand, engagement, and then we scroll down to trademarks, and you can actually look at a trademark database to make sure that you are avoiding trademarks. That is super cool. So heading back over to our dashboard, let's take a look at some more of the features that you can find right from your homepage. Something that I really enjoy, another one of those like off the side extras that I enjoy looking at, are seeing the most sales made yesterday by top Etsy sellers. Obviously, the Velvet Acorn, they are always number one, and they have been number one for years because they sell digital patterns. That makes it really easy to make 1,379 sales in a day. But it's just really exciting to be able to go through these and check out some of these shops that are just killing it on Etsy. I absolutely love keeping up with all of these shops that have the most sales. And then under that, we can also see the percentage of internet users. These are just people that are on the internet, and that percent that are actually using Etsy. So you can see that there has been a little decline, but I firmly believe that Etsy is doing a lot better and that their overall reach is going to increase because, let's be honest, Etsy took a dark side there for a little while, but it's like they're really trying to improve right now, and that's something that I talk about a lot. I've always been on the side of Etsy because I love Etsy, and I don't want to see it go anywhere anytime soon. So I'm really rooting for them, and I'm loving some of the changes that they have been making as of recently. All right, guys, so let's actually open up a few of these different tools and take a peek inside what they actually do and what you can learn from each of them. So starting off, let's go ahead and click the Active Listings tab, which I have 74 in my shop right now, and it's going to take you to a page that looks like this, and you're going to see your overall grade on those listings. So it's like an A, a B, or a C. Obviously you don't want to be anything less than an A, and I went ahead and left a couple of my listings with that C rating up. That way I could show you guys how easy it is to fix those once you realize that they need fixing. You can kind of go through and see how many tags you have. You can see exactly where the problems are. Those are going to be highlighted in red, so I know that I need more tags for this particular listing. You can see exactly how many images you have on each of those listings. You can see if your attributes are filled out. These are just all the specific little details that you can fill out within your listings that are going to help buyers find you easily, and it's either going to be a yes or a no. You've either got them filled out or you don't. So obviously you want all of those to be yes. Then you can also see when the listing was first created, not just when it renewed, but when it was actually created, which was exciting for me because I didn't realize how old some of my listings were, dating back all the way to 2015. And then I look at those and I realize that the ones that date back all the way to 2015 are usually my best sellers. So that really tells you something about how Etsy begins to recognize some of the listings that have been around longer and that they're seeing are selling well. So another thing that you can see is renewed. You can see how many times that listing has been renewed, either manually or through sales. And then you can bump over to views and see exactly how many times your listing has been viewed by individuals since the time that it has been created. Next up, you have daily views, which these are obviously going to vary depending on your SEO or which listing Etsy decides to kind of rank above everybody else. As you can see, some of these only have, one view a day, less than a view a day. But then I hop down to my bestseller, which sells pretty much once a day. I would say that this item sells, and it has 16 daily views, and this is the listing that is actually on page 1 for its search term. So that is something really exciting to see. Next up, you can see exactly how many favorites or hearts that each of your listings have. Once again, this is my bestseller, so it has 752 hearts. And then you have your percentage of people who actually favorite that listing after they viewed it. So these are the people who have clicked on the listing and then have immediately went and favored it. So you look over here and my pizza key, it actually doesn't sell that well. This pizza key, I've only sold a few of them, but it looks like 10.6% of people who view it heart it. So that's pretty neat. As opposed to my bestseller, which only 8.0% or 8% of people who visit this listing heart it, which is really interesting. So next up, back in our dashboard, let's go ahead and head over to spelling issues. So opening up all of my spelling issues, there is only one that I'm going to edit, and I went ahead and left it here so you guys could see how easy it is to go fix these listings, because triquetra is an okay term, and you can actually click ignore for this, like this. You can add that word into your list of safe terms, which you can click here and view. And these are the words that you kind of are telling Etsy or telling Etsy Rank that these are safe. Those are okay. Looking here, I have Santas, which is plural, but Etsy's algorithms don't really detect all of the punctuation. So I usually don't use apostrophes in my listing titles at all. So that's fine. We'll go ahead and ignore that one. But we look here and here's one that I missed. Skeleton key obviously is not what I want. So what we're gonna wanna do is click this button right here that says fix on Etsy. And we look here and we can see that this is where it detected that little error. So you can go in and delete that and change whatever tag is goofed up. So it does take a little bit of time for these little spelling issues to update. So what you're gonna wanna do next is go up actually into this right-hand corner that says refresh data. And this usually takes a few seconds to fully update. But now that that is updated, we have 0 spelling issues, 0 missing images, 0 missing attributes. Next up, we want to go ahead and check out that missing tag because obviously it's super important to have all of your 13 tags filled out. So we look here and this is the product that is missing some tags. It has a C rating. So you can go in and obviously add that tag by clicking fix on Etsy, but you also have another option if you have one of these items that isn't ranking as well as it should, or it doesn't have that A grade, you can go into listing audit. Now, once you're in here, you can look and see exactly where your problem is. So obviously, because I am missing tags, which you can see down here, it is affecting my SEO grade. And we don't want that at all because those tags are ultimately one of the most important things when it comes to your SEO quality. This is also a great way to check your conversion rate. You can see your visibility, you can see your total views. This is just a really great tool that actually allows you to dissect each individual listing and get specific stats for that listing. So next up, you can see content test, and this is going to show you exactly what the Etsy standards are and how you compare to those Etsy standards. So for example, it says Etsy Rank recommends the title be at least 60 characters long. So you can see exactly how many characters yours is. And then you can see how many characters you have in your descriptions, how many tags that you have, and it gives you a few tips about commas and titles to separate those keywords. I don't personally use commas in my titles because I feel like it looks a little bit messy. So instead I use dashes, which is totally fine as long as you are putting a space immediately after whatever you're using as your separator. Next up, we have title analysis, which is going to highlight the strongest keywords in your listing. And this is actually kind of debatable, I guess you could say, because for most of my listings, I'm actually ranking on page 1, position 1 for skeleton key necklace. In fact, my Dragon Lover set right now is in position 1 for the term skeleton key necklace. And usually I don't have that term right after the initial dash. A lot of people tell you not to give your products a foo-foo name. In my experience, I think that having a short little foo-foo name right here before your first dash is okay, as long as it's short. This is basically going to give your listing a little bit of personality and make it your own. Because honestly, I don't want to, because I make only skeleton key necklaces, I'm not just going to put skeleton key necklace as my main keyword right in the front of my title when all I make is skeleton key necklaces. So instead, what I like to do is give my product a very short title and then go ahead and put in the most important tags directly after that. So for this listing, I'm trying to rank for Key to My Heart necklace, which actually isn't the term that I usually rank for. I usually rank for skeleton key necklace. So general rule is whatever is highlighted here is going to be what's most important. But you're still going to do well for keywords after those first 40 characters, and you can still rank high for keywords that you're using after the highlighted portion here. But obviously, if you have to pick what's going to go in that second position, it needs to be your strongest keywords. Next up, we have tag analysis. This is so cool, and you can see which keywords that Etsy is actually recognizing. So looking here, obviously, there are a few that you can only see if you have a pro membership, which is fine, but you can see which keyword actually has the most recognition from Etsy. So for me, that's Key to My Heart. It's not even skeleton key necklace, which obviously it's going to be Key to My Heart because it is the second one here. That is so useful because that tells me that I can rank commonly for Key to My Heart if I use it consistently throughout my listing. So this might be a word that I would want to use more frequently. You can also view what the competition rate is for those keywords. For example, fantasy key necklace is actually a term that I've been using for years that I created for my products. And a lot of people within the skeleton key industry are using the words fantasy key necklace to define their products now, which is cool. I actually don't mind that because I like having competition. It reflects positively on me to have competition. But it just kind of shows you that it has a low competition rate because I made it up. But obviously, if we look over here, it's not in the start of the title, so it isn't going to have the very best keyword and SEO quality. Another thing I really love is that you can see whether or not your actual keywords are being used in that title for that particular product or used in your descriptions. Now we're going to talk about the monitoring settings later on, but basically keywords that you choose to monitor, you can actually see if somebody searched those keywords and found whatever listing you're looking at using one of the keywords that you are specifically monitoring. We're going to be talking more about that later because it takes, I think, 48 hours to fully register those keywords and give you accurate results. And mine have only been in for 24 hours, so it's not really going to reflect as positively yet. So we're going to save that for a later video. Another thing that you can see is whether or not those keywords were used in the start of your description, which is also important. I hear it all the time. And that is why, hopping over to my Etsy shop, when you view one of my products, we'll just click on my bestseller. I take my listing title, I copy it. These are all keywords that I have researched and found great results with. And then I take that and I paste it immediately right in that product description. It ensures that I'm using all of the keywords at least once in my listing description. And then throughout my listing description, I try to kind of casually throw these keywords in here without trying to stuff them or sound gross and unnatural. Putting them right in the top of that listing description is going to adjust this rank and more positively reflect your shop's overall SEO quality. Next up, you can see all of the images that you're currently using for that listing and how many are missing. So right now we have 10 photo slots, which can be difficult to fill, but as long as you have at least 5, you're safe. This is just going to show you how many you have missing. Next up, you can see a preview of how your listing is going to look on Etsy. This should look very similar to the thumbnails that you see in your Etsy storefront. And after that, if by chance your listing is ranking somewhere on Google, which means you have some excellent SEO, you can see how that preview is going to show up on a Google search. Next up, there is a keyword analysis that you can use when you are a pro member. This is going to break down all of the keywords that you're using in your titles and tags into more detail. And once I actually get that pro membership, we can dissect that a little bit further. And lastly, if we scroll back up, I wanted to wait until last for this. You can actually look at the Google Trends for some of those words that you're using. So if I were to click on Key to My Heart and view the Google Trend for that, you can actually look at that search term within Google and see how many searches that term has received. Within Google Trends, you can see the interest by region. This is going to show different countries that are commonly searching the keyword that you're looking at. And then you can also see a couple related searches and related topics for that particular keyword. So that's just another really cool thing that you can do and go through one by one and check all of the trends for each particular keyword that you're looking at. So heading back to the main problem that we were looking at, this listing is missing a tag. So let's go ahead and fix this on Etsy. All right, this listing is all fixed now. Let's go ahead and head back over and refresh our data. And now we look here and everything is exactly what we want it to look like for the dashboard. Yay, that's so exciting. So next, if we actually go into the tab on the left navigation that says shop, we can go through listing summary, take a closer look at those listings, and look, we are at an SEO grade of A, hooray! And we have no missing images and no missing tags, which is fantastic. Another thing that I really love in the listing summary is you can see the value of your complete inventory for your products. That is so neat. So now scrolling through my listings, they all have an A rating. That is exactly where I want them to be. Once again, you can also click on this little listing audit tab. This is going to analyze its title, the tags, the number of images that you're using, and a general SEO grade, which basically means that it's not telling you that the keywords that you're using are great because it's not researching the number of searches for those keywords, but it's recognizing that you're using them repeatedly and that you're ranking for them. So one thing I definitely recommend is to make sure that you're researching those keywords and making sure that they're actually achieving a lot of monthly searches. And of course, if you see that a listing is just not getting as many views as some of your others, you can always go in and kind of tweak those keywords or maybe just reevaluate your photos and try to find out why exactly that particular listing isn't doing as well as the others. So next up, guys, we have the compare listings tab. And I'll be honest, I have tried to use their little navigations and go through the number scale that they have. It goes from positive to negative numbers. I've entered in all these listing IDs and I have even tried to type in letters, which it only allows you to do the letter E. So I'm not quite sure how this listing ID thing works. However, I am going to email Etsy Rank tonight to find that out for you guys. That way I can update it in the next video. And who knows, maybe they're just doing some updating. I heard that they updated their servers recently, so maybe this is just something that they're fixing up. So for now, we can just go ahead and skip this. I assume what it's going to do is basically put side by side some of the listings and their summaries. And if you really wanted to do that, you could just click on listing audit and look at these listings side by side to compare them. Next tab is going to be a awesome little critique that it'll give you and tell you exactly what they recommend to improve your shop quality and SEO. That is super exciting. I love that. It tells you how many active listings that you personally have and what the average is for most Etsy shops. And then it is going to tell you how many missing tags that you have, which we've obviously heard on several other tabs. So hopefully by now you know how many missing tags you have, or you've already gone and fixed them. And then one of my personal favorites, you can look at all the social media outlets that you've linked to your account and actually see how you compare to the average. So the average number of likes on Facebook pages is 385. I guess I'm an overachiever, but that's really cool that you can go through and compare all of these. The next thing that you can look at is your actual Etsy profile, and you can see that yes, your about page is very important and they recommend having that completely filled out. Your story is important and you should have that filled out. Your story headline is important and you should have that filled out. You can see exactly where you are on social media if you have a website, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and a blog, which I do not have a blog, so I can't fill that out. Next up, you can look at your shop policies if you have anything missing for shipping, payment options, or refunds and exchanges. And two other important things, having a shop announcement and a full-sized shop icon. Also very important. I love that they have those included. So next up is compare shops. Now, this is only going to be important to you if you have more than one Etsy shop. What this is going to do is actually compare your stats side by side between your multiple shops. This is going to include your sales, your listings, how many favorites you have, how many Facebook likes you have, Pinterest followers and pins, Twitter followers and tweets, and Instagram followers and Instagram posts. So I only have one Facebook shop. It's my flagship. I'm not backing down on that. But if you have more than one shop, I would love to hear how you use this tool and how it compares your two Etsy shops. All right, guys, so in the next video, we are going to dissect all of the tools within Etsy Rank, how to use them, how to check them. Obviously, if you are an overachiever, you are more than welcome to go and sign up for your Etsy Rank account and explore this stuff on your own. But if you're skeptical and you want to wait it out, I should have the next video available sometime next week. I've got a lot on my plate. I'm trying to create a ton of new trainings for you guys for the holidays and for Black Friday. I don't want to leave anything out, but I think that this is a really great tool right now in particular because you guys should be perfecting your Etsy shop. Anything that is missing, including images, attributes, any tags, any spelling issues that are truly going to affect your rank, those are all things that you need to be fixing immediately. And it might just be stuff that you haven't noticed, or maybe it's hiding within your shop. So this is the only tool that I've actually found that allows you to identify all of those little issues like spelling errors within your shop, and that way you can fix them immediately. I will say that with the Etsy Rank plan that I'm pretty sold on, I'm probably going to go ahead and purchase that tonight. It's only $9.99 a month. Honestly, I spend more than that at Starbucks like every day, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut out my Starbucks visit and go ahead and switch to using Etsy Rank for $9.99 a month. I think that that's going to be a fantastic little addition to my Etsy tool arsenal. Whether you guys decide to sign up, that's completely up to you, because honestly, I love their free tools. I think that they give you more than enough, but if you really want those extra features, which I'm excited to receive, it's just something to consider. Once again, guys, I just want to throw out, I am absolutely not an affiliate of Etsy Rank. I really love this platform, and I think that it is a very useful tool, though I wouldn't say that they really recognize long tail keywords as much as they should, and they kind of just are identifying keywords as a whole, where, you know, I believe that long tail keywords should really be focused on when you're in a market like Etsy, where those algorithms are going to appeal more to specific keywords, and it's easier to rank for those long tail keywords as opposed to, you know, 1 or 2 word keywords. Once again, if you're lost, that is going to all be in my full SEO tutorial, which is going to be linked down below in case you missed that bit. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more from this series, or you just want to binge watch some of the best Etsy tutorials, not toot my own horn here, but your words, not mine, or the Handmade Alpha's words, not mine, I guess I should say, feel free to subscribe and binge watch my channel. I upload new videos every week, and every Friday, my husband and I do a live Q&A where you guys can hop on, hang out with us, ask us questions. Also, if you have not joined the Handmade Alphas, there are 2 amazing resources that you need to utilize, and they are both free, thankfully. The first is the Handmade Alpha VIPs, and this is where I send all of my amazing trainings, any awesome webinars that I plan to host, and of course freebies. These are freebies that I do not release to the public. I don't give them out on YouTube. I actually need to be able to email them to you. Therefore, you have to be a member of my VIP list to receive those goodies. In fact, right when you signed up, I send you my free ebook, which covers how I personally gained a fanatical following of fans on Facebook. So if that sounds great for you, if it's exactly what you need in your life, feel free to go ahead and join below. I also have my second tool for you guys, which is the Handmade Alpha Facebook group. This is the best community I've ever seen in terms of Etsy related Facebook groups. In fact, I usually don't like Etsy Facebook groups. It's like they're just full of opinions and people who really don't know exactly what works. They're just kind of speculating. But with the Handmade Alpha Facebook group, our community follows my specific trainings that have helped me to establish a sustainable income on Etsy for my family. Rather than all working separately, we are all on the same page following the same training structure. That way everybody is succeeding. And once you succeed, you can always help your other fellow members. That is the great thing, because I'm only one person. I can't always help you, but there's a chance that one of my Handmade Alpha students can, because let's face it, they are in there constantly, both asking questions, talking about their progress, and helping other alphas. That is the point of our Facebook community. And of course, unlike some of those weird paid Facebook communities where you have to pay a small monthly fee to receive all of those specialized tips and things and coaching and blah, 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 our Facebook community is completely free, and you can join in the link below. Some of my newest sellers have actually reported to me that just using my trainings on YouTube and some of the free webinars that I have hosted, they've actually made some of their very first sales. So these are new sellers who weren't making any sales on Etsy and are actually beginning to make their very first sales and are finally seeing all of their hard work pay off. And I can't wait to see you guys in the Facebook community, which is also going to be linked below. Okay, Handmade Alphas, thanks again so much for watching. I had a lot of fun today, and I cannot wait to update you on the Etsy rank adventure with my paid membership and all of the new features that I learn about, as well as some of the other tabs that we have not yet explored. Be sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of Etsy Rank. Do you like it? Do you like some of these tools? Is there anything that's missing that you think would be useful? I personally think that a long tail keyword identifier would be extremely useful, but who knows? I'm actually going to be emailing the guy from Etsy Rank. So if you have any suggestions, I would be more than happy to pass those along to him. If you want to shout those out to me down in the comments below, and let me know what you think about Etsy Rank and what is your overall grade. I also am very curious to know what your overall shop grade is. Anyway, guys, thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.